Hello, my name is Valina, but at work I'm better known as Nurse Val. I am an elementary school nurse. I have anywhere from 360 to 380 kids that I care for, along with roughly 58 staff members. Today I want to tell you how nurses evolved into the school system, where it all started. According to an article written by Elizabeth Hannikin in Working Nurses, in 1897, New York City hired 150 physicians to inspect students for contagious diseases, and those who suffered an ailment would be sent home with a note telling the parents that they were not allowed to attend school. These ailments ranged anywhere from head lice to tuberculosis. Most of the families either never received the note, were illiterate, or were too poor to afford medical care. This resulted in thousands of children missing school on any given day. The solution to children missing school. On November 7, 1902, the New York City Board of Education hired the first school nurse, Lena Rogers, RN, for a month-long experiment to see if nursing interventions could make a difference. This, too, was in the Working Nurses article written by Elizabeth Hannikin. After 30 days and seeing over 10,000 students in 4 separate schools, the absenteeism rate drastically decreased. This success was led to the involvement of nurses in the school system. Fast forward a little more than a century. Judy Rollins wrote an article in Pediatric Nursing summarizing that school nursing is a specialized practice of professional nursing that advances the well-being, academic success, and lifelong achievement and health of students. How does a school nurse do this, you ask? Well, school nurses help students learn by 1. Assessing their health and making suggested referrals, 2. Screen for any vision or hearing issues, 3. Address emergency care, 4. Administer daily and as needed medication, 5. Performing any necessary medical procedures, 6. Preparing for emergency situations, 7. Promote health and wellness, and 8. My personal favorite, putting band-aids on boo-boos. Nurses in school today. Although we have seen a tremendous growth in nurses in the school system since 1907, there are still schools today that do not have nursing services provided, most due to lack of funding. Many school nurses are part-time, while some nurses might work full-time and have multiple schools to be responsible for. As stated by the article School Nursing in the 21st Century, the recommendation ratio is between 250 to 750 students per full-time school nurse based on the number and severity of students who are medically fragile or with other health problems. Our school system has 5 schools. We are fortunate enough to have a full-time nurse at each school. We also have a full-time medical assistant who splits her week up between the 2 biggest schools. She also fills in at the other 3 schools when needed. We have a full-time director of nursing who keeps up with the policies, budgets, evaluations, health screenings, in-services, etc., and who's always willing to lend her hand. As you now know, at one point in time there were no nurses at the schools. This caused student absenteeism to be extremely high. With nurses placed into the schools, they are able to provide the students with their basic medical care needs that will keep them in the classrooms, which in turn has drastically decreased absenteeism for students, leaving them able to stay at school and continue their education. And this is how nurses evolved into the school system. Thank you.